Why am I wearing one of the world's ugliest Christmas sweaters? Well, it's because it's the 2024 holiday edition of the ThriveMore podcast. For this holiday edition of the podcast, I want to talk about gratitude. And I want to share some concepts around gratitude that I know will help you because I've seen them help other people. And honestly, they've helped me a ton. Gratitude is almost the magic secret sauce that can take somebody from a place of pain to just a wonderful, amazing life. Gratitude is the way to turn something that a lot of people could feel as a negative situation into a learning opportunity. Gratitude is the way to live a better life. I know this sounds cliche. Everyone's talking about gratitude. Keep a gratitude journal. Be part of the gratitude project. Blah, blah, blah. It's because it's real and it works. Manifestation is absolutely real. There's something called our reticular activating system, and I've talked about this before, that is part of our brain that will look to affirm things we already believe them to be true, and it helps us filter out all the other noise. So if we're looking for only the negative in a situation, our reticular activating system will for sure find all of the negative things in a situation, for sure. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. But if our RAS, reticular activating system, is looking for the positive, if it's looking for the benefits, if it's looking for the growth opportunities, if it's looking for the lessons, then that's what we'll find. We'll find the growth, the lessons, the learnings, and a lot of times, the great things that come from something that could be viewed negatively by others, and the things that will help enrich our life. You know, in my 20s, I think my life was a lot about me. Yeah, pretty selfish. I think maybe your 20s are supposed to be that way. But in my 20s, certainly I was very driven, and it was a lot of, about me. In my 30s, I had a family. So it became about my family and providing for my family and being, that the role model of a provider for my family. By my 40s, it had really become more, sometimes about status, but really more about my imprint. I wanted to make sure that I was leaving an imprint on the people I interacted with, the companies I worked for or that I founded. And then now in my 50s, with the gray hair, now in my 50s, it's more about legacy and impact. So instead of imprint, it's about impact for the long term that continues to hopefully provide benefit long after I'm gone. But what I found in my mid 40s, and it really took me to my mid 40s, is that gratitude makes it about others and about the gift of life and the gift and all of the blessings that we have versus yourself, your impact, your imprint, whatever. It becomes about the journey. Gratitude makes everything be part of this overall life experience that we're all going through. I believe it's Winston Churchill that is given the credit for this following quote. Wisdom is the insight you get the moment after you needed it. Right? I love that quote. Sounds like something he would say. And what I would say is wisdom is what we get on the back end of an experience. And wisdom is built from scar tissue. Wisdom comes from scar tissue from going through a life experience. What I have experienced, and I've seen so many others experience in a positive way, is gratitude can give you the wisdom and the lesson from that life experience while you're going through it, right? While you're going through it. Not before, but while you're going through it. Where wisdom, you're going to get that after you go through it. You already kind of needed the wisdom, but you had to go through it to get the wisdom. Gratitude allows you to get the lessons from a life experience while you're in it because you're looking for those things. You're looking for those things. Where if you're thinking about how hard something is going to be and how difficult it's going to be hard and difficult because that's what you believe it to be. But when you're grateful, when you're showing and practicing gratitude and saying, this is harder than I thought it would be, but what am I learning? How can I get better? How can I help people not experience the same issue I'm going through? And I'm grateful that I'm learning in this experience. You start to see that same experience way, 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 way different, right? So again, wisdom we're going to get after we go through something, but what if we could experience the joy and get more fulfillment. That's the key word, fulfillment from life while we're going through it versus waiting till we get through it. While we're in it, while we're in the thick of it. Well, the simple secret answer, if it's not so secret, is gratitude. It's gratitude. It's practicing gratitude. It's finding the great things no matter what's going on in your life. And I know we all have, trauma with a capital T or a small or lowercase t, but we all got stuff. We're all carrying our own bag of hammers. It's how we view that and find the things to be grateful for that make all the difference in the world. So I wanted this episode to be kind of short and sweet, just like my wife. But truly, I want to leave you with this one quote, because when I read this, it made me think, and it became the genesis of this episode, this very short episode on gratitude for the holidays, thus the ugly Christmas sweater here. The Roman philosopher Marcus Cicero wrote, "Gratitude is the greatest virtue and the parent of all others." 2,000 years ago, Marcus Cicero wrote, "Gratitude is the greatest virtue and the parent of all others." It sits above all other virtues, because once you have gratitude and you are practicing gratitude and you're truly grateful, you find real gratitude. It sits above everything else and makes everything else better. It truly is the parent of all virtues. I wish you a wonderful holiday season. If you're listening to this and it's already 2025, I hope you have an amazing 2025 and an outstanding year. And most of all, I hope you find gratitude in this year and you have gratitude for the rest of your life. It will change everything for the better. Happy holidays. Thank you for tuning in to the ThriveMore podcast. Don't forget to take a look at the show notes for any of the resources that we mentioned during the podcast. And if you haven't already, be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you have access to the latest and the greatest. You can connect with me on any of the socials at Real Roger Martin. And be sure to check out our website, ThriveMoreBrands.com. There you'll find information on the brands we support and information on franchising. Thanks again for tuning in.